Welcome, everybody, to the Sales Copywriting and Content Marketing Hacks Podcast. This is episode 142, and with us we have Mr. Stu. Mr. Stu in 142. I'm your host, Jim Edwards. Welcome, Stu, to today's episode.
Hey, thank you, Jim.
So, Stu, what are we talking about today?
Well, you and I are going to talk about discussing something that I created, right? This is mine today, right? I came up with this term called the marketing diary. And let me tell you how I did that, Jim.
Okay.
I do food diaries. I do fitness diaries. I have fitness budgets. I have monetary budgets, and looking at what I ate, looking at what I did as far as calories out, looking at what I spent in money. Why not have one for looking at what I did today to market my business? And that's all I did. I came up with a marketing diary idea. And what we're going to do is just discuss the importance of having an idea making to-do checklist. You
lost me.
Yeah, it's basically an idea making to-do checklist, but more importantly, the marketing diary is a version of a checklist that's just done. Does that make sense?
No. You have totally lost me because I don't know what the hell a marketing diary has to do with an idea checklist thingy jigger.
Well, I'm going to show you. You see this?
Okay. Well, hang on, Stu. It looks so important. I'm going to give you the full screen.
All right. So you remember the DIY business action plan that
I do. We spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, actually. And it's, if you notice, it's on a piece of paper that I laminated, right? And it's a checklist. Every day, Facebook, YouTube, free advertising, newsletter, podcasting.
I got you.
So many different things. Create your own ebook or book, sales copy, social media advertising, all this stuff, right? And this is just my checklist. So when I come up with a piece of content, I look at that and say, oh man, I forgot YouTube. Get it done, right? And now I just write it down on and this is old school, right? Just a pad of paper.
Oh, wow.
Tells me what this is all I did. This is just a little 3x5, maybe 4x5 notebook. And I just keep track of everything I did today. This is today's look. And you notice, look at that down there. Jim and Stu.
Nice.
So anyway, this is just, I can take a look at what I did each day. And then what the fun part about this is I can look at sales for the day and the day following it to see if it actually made a difference.
Okay.
Right. So think of it as like a constant test every day, and you have data to look at to see if it actually is working.
So, it's interesting, and I don't want to get into leading indicators and lagging indicators and all that BS, because yes, and there's some that are leading and some that are lagging, but the gist of it is whatever you think about expands. Whatever you focus on, whatever you write down, whatever you pay attention to is your reality, and it tends to grow in your life. So if you are writing down all the things you're eating, it's going to make you pay attention to what you're eating, and it's going to cause you to behave differently. If you're writing down all the exercise that you are or are not doing, and then you also write down what you're eating, and then you weigh yourself every day, then you will gradually see, oh, okay, Twinkies and sitting on my ass equals my weight is going up. As opposed to, this amount of exercise and this amount of food in, my weight stays the same, or my weight gradually starts going down. Not going to get into the glycemic this and all that. And, if you eat this today, I want to fail. Yeah, bullshit. If you eat 5 pounds of shit today, you're going to weigh 5 pounds more tomorrow. It's just what happens. Okay. Just saying. Shouldn't use the bad words, but it's true. So that's why I think it's brilliant, because
thank you.
I remember, I'm going to tell a quick story of, I've never been money motivated, but there's a difference between being money focused and money motivated. And so, and money is important. I'm never going to tell you it's not, because it is important, because it allows you to take care of your family, take care of stuff, keep the wolf away from the door, all that good stuff. And so about 20 years ago, I was working for a guy who ultimately fired me. But one of the things that he did is he had a little paper ledger. It was one of those, you used to see them at the office supply store. They had the green cover, and you wrote down when something came in and what the amount was, and then you kept a running total. And so what he did was, every time a check came in, every time anybody made a sale, anytime anybody ever made a check, made a sale, you went into that book and you wrote that in there, and you wrote your name next to it so that he knew to pay commission. So for whatever reason, that made me very result conscious of the actions I was taking and how that resulted in money coming in. And so when he fired me, I was really scared. And I was scared. Part of the reason that you're scared is because you don't know, you don't have a good idea of what you are doing or what you're not doing, what causes are being set in motion, and what results are coming. So if you don't know how much your money you've made, then you're freaking out because you don't know if you've made any money, or you're not seeing the results. It's not creating that feedback loop of, I do this and money comes in. So I am not saying this is exactly responsible, but it was part of it. I was really scared because my self-esteem was pretty low, and I was just not feeling great about myself. So I started keeping an income journal where I wrote down every check that came in, because I didn't have a job. I was trying not to get a job. I had a consulting job. I was paying me $25 an hour. And I just started writing in every time a check came in, even a little affiliate check or whatever, it got written in. So I could see how much I was making and how much I was spending. And it was the act of writing it. I could have done it with a spreadsheet, but it was the act of writing it that made it real, that helped me to internalize it. And that year, between September and December, I generated $400,000 in sales and made more money than I'd made the previous 4 years combined. Now, that 400 grand was gross, and I had to pay out partners on everything and all this other stuff, but I made a crap ton of money, made enough money to pay off my house. So the point is that there's something magical about writing it down, because it totally raises your consciousness. So with my workout book, Stu sends me workouts, and so then I write on the workout book. I know how many I'm writing on it. It's not just Stu sending it to me, it's me writing on it. And then I know, like, when I got hurt and I'm nursing a shoulder thing, so then I still have stuff in here though to do, keeping the habit. It's like, even if it's just stretching, I'm writing in here and I'm checking off, okay, I'm doing something. I'm still training myself to keep track of it. It's still making it real. I'm not like sitting upstairs playing Xbox in the morning or something, and I'm adapting, and it's the writing it down makes it real. If you want the biggest takeaway you might get from this podcast is, anything you're writing down consistently and keeping track of in a diary is going to be the most real to you.
And once again, it's very helpful to checking your progress and
Right.
discovering trends, because I found a trend that I wasn't really looking for. And I've shared this a while back ago, but I found a trend that on the 1st and the 15th, if I share a testimonial, it's exponentially different than my normal days of sharing testimonials. It just is. And why is that? Why is that?
Because
First
people are
of the
getting
15th,
paid.
people are getting paid. It's payday. So it's a payday testimonial that goes out on payday. Or just something that's a really good piece of with a unique offer or something like that, that hooks and has a decent story around it. But for me, testimonials are very valuable on those 2 days a month.
Yes.
Yeah, and
So
I only figured that out because I was writing it down every day.
right.
Right? I didn't just come up with it out of the blue. I'm like, hey, let's try it out, see what happens. It is actually tested.
So the other thing that I think people need to understand about this, at least this is my perception of it, is that this is not a to-do list. This is a done list. The only stuff you're writing in there, it's not, oh, well, I can just check off the stuff. I just compile my to-do list. No,
Different
you
list.
only write in the stuff that you have done to create that feedback loop of the excitement of having actually finished something, of getting something. Like, this is stuff that actually is done. And if I'm not mistaken, it's only things that are directly related to putting an offer in front of somebody. So your marketing diary probably shouldn't say made video. It should say posted video to Facebook with offer, posted to YouTube, posted to Twitter, posted to my blog, emailed my list about, you see what I mean?
Oh,
It's
sure.
making content don't count. Making a product doesn't count. Talking on the phone to your buddies doesn't count. Doing a Zoom call with somebody doesn't count. Fulfilling product doesn't count. Fulfilling and doing a webinar or putting stuff in your membership site does not count. The only thing that goes in there is stuff that you're doing that is directly a cause set in motion to bring business through the front door. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you look, everything in here is is an offer, right? It
Right.
has tagged products in there with recommendations. It has, let's see, what's this? Testimonial, article blog with links and and offers as well. Got a live Q&A session in there um, that is full of offers constantly. I mean, I'm constantly saying what you need to do is go here and don't forget, go to stewsmithfitness.com. Right? I mean, it's constantly loaded with offers. So yeah, it's just something. It. I guess the best way for me to explain it is use that word that's right behind your head. Right? A checklist is a checklist. I have a checklist. Right?
Right.
But it's not done unless I distribute it.
Right.
And that it's a system, right? Your distribution is a system that needs to be sent out to the masses, however you so choose to do that. And you can do multiple methods.
It's a cause set in motion. That's what it is. It's a cause set in motion that by doing this, the direct result of this is somebody making a decision either to buy or not buy from me, to either click or not click, sign up or not sign up, call or not call. This is stuff that is putting something in front of somebody that I'm going to get feedback, either they bought or they didn't buy. And so I need to try something else until I dial it in. And then once I got it, I do it over and over and over and over and over until it stops working.
That is it.
So
that's what my diary is all about.
So
it's the done list.
How many things do you try to do every day so that you feel like you have balance, but that you're always getting something done? Like what's and I know that we're not about minimums or anything like that, but what do you want to do each day so that you can put your head on the pillow and say, you know what, I marketed my business effectively today. Maybe not as much as I wanted to, but tell me about that
Yeah.
thought process.
I mean, daily post of our workouts because we do them 6 days a week. On the seventh day, I rest. No, seventh day, I actually usually do something try to do something inspirational. Maybe have one of my cooler pictures that I take because I like to take cool pictures. And then, there's always some fun motivational quote that you can put under that thing and just be a happy Sunday thought. But 6 days a week, I am posting workout pictures, um, videos. 3 days a week, I write an article, sometimes four, five on my own website, or two more for my own website. I write for other articles. But what I will do is if I'm even writing it on military.com, like
Hmm.
I'll cut and paste what I send and I'll post it into my private group just to say, hey, what do you guys think of this? You guys get it before it's published. Let me know.
My article's published on Wednesday, but you get the scoop today. I did that for 10 years with my newspaper column, and that was my shtick, boy.
Yeah.
Here's
So
Wednesday's column, but you get the
yeah, I'm
scoop
always
today.
writing. So I'd say 3 to 5 articles a week. Um,
And some people might think
picture or video every day.
that sounds
Yeah.
like a lot, but it's not if you're once you work up to it. Three to
Yeah.
five articles a week is very doable once you're in the habit and you have the internalized the stuff and you're using the wizards. And would you say that the wizards have helped you to increase the speed and efficiency with which you churn out content?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I feel more comfortable using the wizards just because my natural style of writing wouldn't be what the wizards put out, right?
Right.
I don't use some of the same um, methodologies that are used in sales copy when I'm writing my articles. I'm getting better at it, but the wizards have definitely been the easy button for that.
Okay.
Um, but between that and a podcast a week and a live Q&A video a week, um, and then of course the Jim and Stu show and our podcast, pretty busy, but not too crazy, not too crazy. I mean, I could probably,
Keeps you off the streets.
yeah, it keeps me busy, but I tell you what, I've automated a lot of stuff this year. So I found some time in my day, which has been very key. Maybe we need to do another show on, just automation because I have found 2 hours in my day that I didn't have 3 months ago,
Yeah.
just because I've found a way to automate some of the book processing and
Yeah,
selling.
I think somebody might have suggested you look at something and ask you if that worked, and
You did.
somebody.
All you did was say, "Hey, Stu, do you know how this Lulu Express works?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. Let me find out." And but then
Damn, I should.
after I did one book on there, I was like, "Oh,
Uh,
that's easy. Let me do all my other ones." And I had a goal by the end of the year to have all 40 products on Lulu Express. Well,
uh,
it took me a week instead of 4 months to do.
wow.
And I was just rolling, and I had no idea the change that it would make. So yes, I have time, but a lot of the stuff is automated while you have time. So anyway, maybe we can different topic, but
Did you
we
get
can
your
definitely change.
garage back? Do you have more storage space at the house now since you're not keeping boxes of books around?
Yes, yes, I don't have to worry about boxes of books in my basement anymore.
That's cool.
Sitting on top of my pool table. I actually play pool.
There you go. Cool. All right. Well, I think that pretty much does it. I mean, if you were going to tell somebody, just summarize, if someone was going to start a marketing diary, what should they do? How do they get started and what should they track?
Well, if you watch the last few of our shows, we have really been setting the tone for the process of creating a systematic distribution method, right? So, I mean, we have beaten that up so many times. I think we've changed the name 3 times for it already because we originally had called it mode, right? It was
Right.
just the mode we were going to use to, or no,
Yeah.
the channel. That's what it
Yeah.
was. It was the channel we were going to use to distribute said content. Now we
Right.
change it to systematic, but you can see between podcast 140 and podcast 142, you will see a wide variety of us describing this whole process.
Hmm.
So what that will do is that will give you sort of a checklist to do, and you can actually go to the Jim Edwards method and pull up the DIY business action plan. That's
There
in
you go.
there.
For members.
You can find that as well. It's a great little piece. I actually set it up. I actually set it up on this little tripod thing right here, and I'm looking at it to the right of my screen constantly.
Wow.
I mean,
Well, that
it is a
that
permanent fixture in my office, right next to my
that
screen.
creates consciousness. That keeps it top of
Oh,
mind.
absolutely. And then all I did was buy a $1.50 pad, and I just keep notes in it. Every day is a different day of marketing.
No, I think that's great. I think that's terrific. I think that's amazing. So just
Well,
keep
thank
it
you.
simple. Just keep it simple and get her done. I'm going to make the commitment to doing that. I'm going to make the commitment to starting that, and I'm going to do a marketing diary for the next week, the next year. I'm
Oh,
going to
sweet.
do that. In fact, let me write it on my board. I'm going to keep a marketing diary, and I want to go to you next year and say, hey, Stu, just like I gave you that idea about your ebook covers and it threw you into a new tax bracket. I want to say it'll throw me into one, but I'm in the highest one there is. So I mean, I just for now they'll probably invent a new one. But no, I'm serious. I'm going to do that. That's just like I'm going to keep 2 diaries: my fitness diary and my marketing diary for a year.
You know what it does for me? It settles my brain at the end of the day that I have accomplished stuff.
Right.
Right. And I don't have 3 or 4 different things rolling in my head like, oh, I could have done that. I could have done, oh man, why didn't I do that? I forgot all about YouTube. I could have done that. You know, it's all right there. Right. And
Right.
it's just a checklist. And if I'm running short on ideas, pull back a couple days. I'm like, oh, there you go. Let's do that. You know, it can act as a checklist too.
Yeah. Well, a done list.
Yeah. But I'm just
There
saying,
you
I
go.
pull back a few days to get an idea. I was like, oh yeah, let me do that. Yeah.
There you
But
go.
I got my checklist right in front of me all the time. It never leaves.
Right. Right.
So there you go.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. I think this is terrific. So I hopefully all of you in the comments, let's see who's going to commit with me for the rest of this year and for 2022. You're going to keep a daily marketing diary. It's a little bit of a commitment, but I think that the payoff is going to be extreme. So awesome. All right, cool. Well, thanks, Stu. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you next time on the Jim and Stu Show and the Sales Copywriting and Content Marketing Hacks podcast. Bye-bye.